Okay, it's been a few days since we last tried doing the twist with the forge and how it's been mounted onto the plate. One thing I'm going to try a little different is I went back out and got myself a 3-foot section of 1-inch steel rod again. And what the plan is now is I'm going to finish polishing off this surface, and I'm going to weld a longer lever, because the problem that we had last time was the welds broke up here, and these 3 outside bars were all spraying out. There wasn't enough force at the very base where, ironically, it was the most thickest. So I'm going to try welding up all this, and worst case scenario, we have a few other plans that we discussed about with Jason there. So I'm going to get all my stuff together, hunt down the angle grinder, which is right by the floor over there, and going to get caught the sparks and making a few modifications of this and try again with the forge. Alright, see you in a second. Right at the tip up here, it's getting cherry red. You can see some discoloration right over here. Ooh, toasty. The discoloration. Yeah, so even though this angle grinder will be able to cut right through this, it'll probably be safer if I actually just take an aggressive grinding wheel. But that's going to take a few minutes, so I'll get back to you guys once this is a nice smooth surface and I finished up some of the details. Alright. not looking too bad. Yeah. So I'm just gonna run weld after weld after weld after weld and just really cake it on there thick. I'm probably going to use up the welder left in my welder right now. So I'll get you guys back on once we get this set up again. Probably a few test pulls, and then hopefully this it will be a better solution. Alright, I'll see y'all in a second. Alright, as you can see here, we have this shit caked on. Yeah, well, all along the top sections, connect them down to these bottom seams here. Here, gets better light. So essentially what I did, filled all that and connected it down to these joint points of contact here. So that way it'll create a little more structure around it, and it'll keep this from wanting to favor one side of the three to over twist or not enough twist. So after this conundrum of tomfuckery, I don't know why I decided to do this. After this, I'm going to try slipping it back into my jig over here, get the forge ready again, and I'm going to start from the top this time where it has less metal, because right down the base here it's filled to the brim with really good stick weld. So I'm not too sure if I can twist down at the base, but if I can get started on the front or the top portion and just work as much as I can down. Like that way these become the stronger joists, and I can probably work something down the road how to finish the twist downward, because I need about 26 inches in all to lean on the safe side of down stem. So I'm going to try hooking you guys back up on the tripod, get some more lighting going, and well, cross your fingers, cross your toes, wish me luck, because when Jason and I were going at it, actually this was actually a really good angle here. I should have done this earlier. Because when Jason and I were doing it, we used that pipe wrench right here. Try using the pipe wrench, but unfortunately it's either slipping or it apply force onto one of the three strands, and we don't want that. So that's the idea behind welding everything on the top as solid as I can make it with the tools I have available. Like I said, I'm using a little cheap Mastercraft 110 welder. Great for sheet metal and very light duty, but all my projects have been doing heavy duty metal, so it'd be nice to have the facility to, or at least it wired up properly so we can run these bigger and badder welders. But unfortunately I gotta do with what I have, and hopefully some of my friends come in clutch with some of their tools. So again, I'm gonna switch you guys around, get the force setup, some more lighting setup, and hopefully we're going to try having it laid out so at least that way I can confirm whether or not this would work. Alright, see y'all in a second. Alright, so welcome back, and you're probably wondering why we went from my down tube to my hardtail. Well, because I'm going to wait for some backup on this one, okay? Seeing who will get back to me, because you know it's a weekend, people still have plans to do, which is understandable. So the next step I have to work on is try getting these original slugs out of my hardtail kit, because they're too narrow to fit into my original frame. So I'm going to use this time to help extract them, figure out the inner diameter of this DOM piping, and we make custom two-step slugs, 1 inch down to this diameter, so we can actually make a solid, full-filled enclosure. I'm not a mechanic or a machinist or engineer, so I don't know any terminologies, but it's going to fill up the entire gap on the inside diameter of both this portion of the frame and my main frame. That main frame sounds really nerdy, doesn't it? Ah, fuck it. But we just got to drill through the original slug tack, which allows this slug to stay in place without it being completely sealed by weld on the outside. So I was going to take a drill bit and just go up step by step by step. Alright, so Gonna get to it. Okay, so I went through almost all my drill bits. Oh, okay. And I ended up finding some sort of weird diamond-shaped die grinder that I put in the drill. And I just started weaving around in a circumference, grinding away to the point where I can finally, almost, plant that right up. Come on! Damn, boys! Come on! Alright, come on! Oh, balls! Okay, I'm about to weld on another piece of bar. That's the answer to everything, eh? Weld more. When in doubt, weld more. Alright, yeah, so just weld on one of these pieces of rebar and just start. It's really tempting, but of course that means I gotta let that cool off. Come on, y'all. Some bitch. Oh boy, I have no idea how the hell they got this some bitch in there. They probably used some sort of fucking press. I will not be defeated. Oh yeah, okay, you know what? It's slowly coming out. Just gotta work on, actually, be right back. Hope I get some penetrating fluid. 3 in 1. Let's just hit this son of a bitch. Yeah. Just get that nice. You know what? How many people like the smell of WD-40? And this is a 3 in 1 high performance penetration fluid. I don't know why, it's just one of those weird smells that just smells really good to me. Okay, that's working. We're working it in. Working its way. Barely. Come on. I gotta just keep, this is going to be a repeated process all the way down to the second slug. So I'll get back to you guys once both slugs are out and we can start taking some new measurements. All right, thank you. See you in a second. Okay, so I found a very thin punch and a body hammer. So what I did, and this is surprisingly working a lot better than just spinning around in circles. Press it up against the vice jaws and just tap it out. Tap it out. Oh yeah, there we go. Dude, they have more slug hanging on the inside. So in case you're curious about what's in the slug of one of these Voodoo hardtail frames, it's this sucker right up here. Yeah, so we got about not even an inch on the main frame, and just less than that for the outside. That's what they expect you to use. So yeah, any criticism I have towards this product right here, let's make our own slugs. Or you can tell me in the description, would this be enough? Here, I'm gonna try getting into some better light. Would this be enough? Let's take a tape measure. I know I have a tape measure hanging by right around here somewhere. Okay, we're back. We have 2 1/16 of a slug. Now keep this in mind, I'm going to use a 6-inch slug. 3 into the hardtail, 3 into the main frame. Again, that sounds really nerdy and I kind of like it. But only 2 inches. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's enough for any chopper really, unless you're being like a Honda Bobber or something like that, because they're mostly made out of plastic and aluminum. But that's a challenge in itself. But I gotta say, it was definitely stuck in there, so I gotta get in process of that. This was machined perfectly, and we can use this reference on this slug to make a new slug for our rear frame here. And we have plenty of a big ass hole to re-solidify it. And we're running low on battery power again. Damn, these things use up so much battery power. I don't like it. Anyways, when you see us next, I'm gonna pop that back on my camera, back on the charger. Hopefully I get some backup with the down tooth. But I'm going to get rid of the other slug. And this way we have a good reference material for the rest of the hardtailing process. Alright, I'll see y'all in a little bit.